What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, Skai Jackson and the father of her child, DeAndre, TMZ has learned that she said he attacked her on Mother's Day and wanted her to drink bleach while she was pregnant. Drink bleach? What in the COVID-19? Is it COVID? Is that the reason why so many people are out here just losing their minds? Honestly, I haven't heard anything like that since Trump. And you guys remember his first during his first administration, he was talking about injecting, disinfectant. He didn't say bleach, specifically, but that was during the COVID pandemic when we were at the height of it. And so now we have DeAndre out here putting his hands on Sky, supposedly allegedly grabbed her by her hair while she was holding their baby, slammed her head against a car window, and punched her in the face. What is going on? I'm like, Halle Bailey, she just had to take out a restraining order against DDG. We had Keke Palmer, who had to take out a restraining order against the father of her child. Listen, before I get into this article, let me just say this. Ladies, I want us to be two things. I want us to be a lot smarter about who we choose to let into our hearts, but more importantly, let into our wombs. Be protective, okay? Who you conceive a child with. And the second thing is, I know, things happen, people get into the moment, we're all human, all that good stuff. So I'm not out here being preachy, but protect yourself, carry some mace. And I'm so serious. And listen, it's unfortunate because, you know, when you do decide to be in a relationship with someone, oftentimes you fall in love with that person and you don't want to harm them. But as ladies, I need us to be a little bit, smarter and a little bit more keen on self defense. Because I'm like, all these men keep, I keep hearing these stories about these men putting their hands on these women. And I know that we hear about them because they're entertainers and oftentimes, child stars and multimillionaires. But even if they're not associated with Disney, listen, ladies, every day, this happens to women every day, twice on the weekends. Get some mace or get some type of, protection that will keep you safe from somebody who apparently loses their mind and feels like they can put their hands on you. My goodness, let's go ahead and get into this article. So the DV temporary restraining order was granted, so that's good. The next court hearing has been scheduled for June 9th in downtown Los Angeles. But Skai Jackson says the father of her baby is terrorizing her and has been for more than a year. But an alleged harm on Mother's Day was the last straw for her, as it should. Was it who else lost their mind on Mother's Day? Lil Wayne put out the woman that he was dating and her daughter, if I'm not mistaken, on Mother's Day. What is it about Mother's Day they're making all these men just lose it out here? Like, this isn't anything new. We've had Mother's Day for I don't know how many decades. What is going on? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, is it COVID? And I'm not even trying to be funny, but I feel like ever since 2020, and I know that we're still learning the effects of COVID, but I'm wondering what damage did it do to the brain, honestly. And I'm not even trying to be funny because when you can't taste or smell, that's brain damage. So I really would love if they would study. I mean, we don't, again, scientists are just now, learning the effects of long COVID and things like that. But I'm curious as to what it did to our brain and how it affected our brain. Because these men out here are losing it. The former Disney star filed a restraining order in LA County Superior Court, and in the docs, she claims that DeAndre Virgin attacked her earlier this month as she was holding their baby boy 3-month-old Kasai on Mother's Day. And see, that's a different type of trifling when you attack somebody who's holding a 3-month-old baby. And it's yours, by the way, your son, right, that you helped bring into this world. This is a mess. According to the docs, DeAndre grabbed Skai by her hair, slammed her head against the car window, and punched her in the face. But Skai claims that this type of violence is nothing new. See, and that, let me say this just really quickly. If somebody has the audacity to put their hands on you, especially if they're a man, and they lie and say, "Oh, I'm never, I'm so sorry, I've never done this before, I'll never do it again," that's a lie. You need to get you and your baby, especially since you have the means and the resources, right, to get as far away from this man as possible. This should not have, listen, seriously, like one and done. And it shouldn't even be a one, but if it ever happens, cut it right there. Set those boundaries. Keep it moving. This is ridiculous. That is nothing new. In the docs, she described a 6-month period in 2024 where Virgin would harm her on a weekly basis, putting his hands around her throat, restricting her airways, scratching her and slamming her head against the wall. She alleges that Burgess also damaged a bunch of personal property, such as an iPhone and a television. While she was pregnant, she claims that Virgin demanded that she drink bleach to kill the unborn child, and then held her with a pointy weapon, a knife point. I'm trying to get around all these words, but I'm sleepy. You two work with me here. As he walked to her car and threatened to harm her with the pointy weapon in her stomach. Oh my gosh, she yelled for help. This is horrible. He should be behind bars somewhere. And I don't say that lightly, but for him to want to harm her in her stomach, his own unborn child, talking about drink bleach, this is disgusting. On another occasion last summer, she alleges that Virgin punched through the bathroom door. She locked herself inside and slammed her against a wall, and it restricted her airways around her neck until she could not breathe. She says that she has a video to back up that claim. As we reported, Virgin had plenty of legal trouble in the past. He was arrested last month on an outstanding warrant, and when Skai gave birth in January, he was doing a 90-day jail sentence for a parole violation. Skai, what are you doing, baby girl? Like, all my Disney princesses, all my Disney Black princesses to the front of the line. Kiki, Haley, or Holly, I'm sorry, and Skai, and whoever else. But I'm like, you guys are just like the cream of the crop. Please leave the scrubs alone. You could do so much better. Please go find someone, that is a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, a businessman. These scrubs are like, and you know that they have inferiority complexes. That's why they're lashing out and doing all these horrible things. There's no justification. They're scrubs. I'm just saying that, when you're with somebody who is so far ahead of you, financially and, just career wise, oftentimes, especially these men who don't really have anything going for them, they can't handle that. Drop these low life bums. Y'all stop messing with bums. What is going on? Disney princesses with bums. It don't make, you're supposed to be with princess. Don't make no dang on sense. She claims that Virgin owns 3 pow pows, including a rifle. So she clearly fears for her life. She asked the judge to keep him 100 yards away from her and their baby and their dog, a terrier pug mix. I know, and protect the dog. Thank you, Skai. And order him to take a DV treatment program. Well, that's all good and well, but please leave him alone. Please move on. Protect yourself, your son, your dog, and your sanity. Like, leave him in the 90-day whatever behind bars program, because clearly he hasn't learned his lesson. This isn't like the first time he's gotten into trouble. Sky says that they don't have a legal child support agreement, so she wants that, and she wants Virgin to cover all her legal fees, as he should, taking you through all this mess. But when somebody tells you something like that, like so horrific, to drink bleach, let these men go. Like that would have been the last time he ever would have seen my face. Period. I don't play about stuff like that. But I get it. They're young. I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser. But even back when I was younger, I mean, somebody couldn't have told me to drink bleach. I'd have been like, you can kick rocks and goodbye. Like, we don't play those games. And see, unfortunately, it escalated from him trying to, tell her to drink bleach to him putting his hands on her repeatedly. I'm so glad that the judge granted her this restraining order. And Sky, please leave him alone. Whether or not he goes through that program, I mean, that's all good and well. And I know you have to co parent with him for the next 18 years, but do so safely and please move on for your sake and your baby's sake and the dog. Because people like that, they won't think twice about harming an animal. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care and be safe out there. Bye.